Welcome to another episode of Vet in a Van. This episode is all about the Central Arnhem Road. So not only is it all about the Central Arnhem Road, but it's about doing it in its probably worst condition that you could possibly do it in. So we're talking early shoulder of the wet season, bucketing down rain, and the grader hasn't been through. So if you're thinking about taking your van up to East Arnhem Land and you're wondering about the track, this is probably a reasonable episode to watch because it demonstrates what the track is like when it's in its absolute worst condition. And we also, at the beginning, Tanya and I have a bit of a chat about just the track and what you need. But I'll go into that into more detail. So anyway, before I dive into the episode, I'll give you 5 things that before you even think about touching the Central Arnhem Road, you need to make sure you have well and truly sorted out, especially if you're taking your caravan up there. So number 1, accommodation. You must have your accommodation booked well before you get up there. I'll go into that in more detail. 2, transit permit. Northern Land Council have to get a transit permit, and I'll put these down below in the description as well. 3, a recreational permit from the Northern Land Council. Very important. 4, camping accommodation. You can only book your camping accommodation once you have a Northern Land Council permit. You have to book it early because it all books out. And 5, now number 5 could be in any order depending on your preference, but your alcohol permit. You need to get your alcohol permit beforehand because it does actually take some time to send through because the rules have changed. You can't just get it up there now. You actually have to apply for it through Darwin, and it takes a bit of time for it to come back. So anyway, that being all said and done, Central Arnhem Road, enjoy. Okay, so it has been quite a long time since we've actually done any filming. What have we been doing?
Working.
Anything else? So I think we left Yalara 4 weeks ago now? 5 weeks ago? Can't remember. I don't know. But anyway, we haven't done any filming pretty much. We left, since we broke down. Since we broke down in Alice, we have just been super busy. So we broke down in Alice, we lost a heap of time. So then we had to do the 1,200 or so Ks, smash it up to Darwin. We stayed at the only kept Maiden Caravan Park that we haven't stayed in Darwin, which is the Discovery, which is out by the airport, which is actually really nice. Really nice pool. And anyway, then I flew back to Melbourne for work and then came back to Darwin in a week. And then we went down to Katherine, and Tanya started work out in Roper Golf. And now we are up in Arnhem Land. Well, we're not in Arnhem Land yet, we're still in Roper Golf. But we are on the East Arnhem Road. So I think with this episode, we were here last year, probably almost this time last year. We came up a bit earlier, and we just hummed it straight up. And then when we came back, we just hummed it straight back. We came back in like a day, and we didn't bring the van. And as you can see, this time we are bringing the van. So this episode, we're just going to take it really slow. We're going to take 4 days to go up the road. And just take it really easy, just to appreciate that it is actually an amazing drive. And so I guess we wanted to do an episode on how we prepare, what we do, all that kind of stuff. So you can get a van up here, but there is firstly very limited accommodation. So there's 2 places you can stay up in Nhulunbuy. They are the with caravan that is, the boat club.
Yep. And
the walkabout. Boat club has power and water. The walkabout is just park out the back.
And that's just the pub
in the
middle of Nhulunbuy.
Yeah, middle of town, the pub.
Yeah, whereas the boat club's about 10-15 minutes out of town.
Yeah, the boat club is really nice. It's a bit of a local haunt as well. Great little park, great little pub. Obviously, launch a boat ramp, boat there, and it's got a really cool kind of nature playground area as well at the pub. So it's pretty cool. We're going to stay there actually while we're up there for a little while. But anyway, things you need to do. So tyre pressure is absolutely a must, which I don't need to tell you, but I'm now 30 psi all round.
Oh, the road's sealed for the first.
Yeah, for the first probably 2 hours, hour and a half. Yeah. Once you get to not Bullman.
Not Bullman.
Beswick, it's sealed all the way, and then it just kind of goes downhill. Once you get out of there,
it gets corrugated pretty fast.
It does get corrugated pretty fast. We thought the grader had gone through, but the grader has not gone through.
Well, it was graded up.
It was up to Beswick, up to the community. Yeah. Right. But anyway, so tyre pressure, absolute must.
And rocky as well, not just corrugation,
yeah, not
just rocky.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
And dusty, so very, very dusty.
Good tyres.
Yeah.
Make sure your tyres are in good nick.
Yeah. Wheel nuts.
Yeah.
Make sure your wheel nuts are tightened up. We learnt that the hard way when we were coming around the Marendi Loop. And one of my wheel nuts came a little bit loose and sheared the bolt, and then sheared another bolt, and then destroyed the rear drum and all that malarkey, as I think was in an earlier episode. So wheel nuts, I'm about to tighten all mine. Van and car, because the car just constant corrugations, hours and hours and hours. As anyone who's done the Gib, you know, constant corrugations.
On Ningaloo or
on Ningaloo,
anywhere
exactly. And also 3 years. We're 3 years in the van now. 3 years in the van as of 3 days ago, 4 days ago.
Yeah, a couple of days ago.
Anyway, that's a side note. Woo! So yeah, like you can do it in 1 day if you really want to smash it, but that's a long day and it's probably risking damage to your caravan.
You wouldn't want to do that.
You wouldn't want to do it. It'd be a massive day. Like we did it in 1 day, not towing took us like 12 hours.
It's 9 to 10.
Yeah.
9 to 10 just in the car, not towing, and sitting on an average of like 70.
Yeah, 70,
which
80.
there's no chance you'll do with the van.
No, we'll be cruising on between 40 and 60.
We were averaging 50 with the van yesterday, and this first bit of the track is the good bit.
Yeah, and it's just going to get worse from here.
It gets worse, and then your last 200 Ks are the worst bit, and there's no chance. Probably be sitting on 20.
Yeah. So anyway, we're just going to take it nice and easy. So we left Katherine last night, and Katherine's probably the best. You're either Katherine or Mataranka. So if you're coming up here and you want to come to Arnhem Land, the other thing I did mention before is a permit. So you need to get onto Northern Land Council. I'll put the link down below, and apply for a transit permit. And the transit permit is just applicable for the days that you actually are travelling on the road. This is all private land. So you obviously have to have a permit to go through somebody else's property. And so, our first stop, so we ended up leaving from Katherine, but you can leave from Mataranka, it's about the same. And our first stop is Jurassic Park, which is just a awesome little free camp, amazing views. I popped some footage in. And so today, like it's only, it's going to be stinking hot today. And there's it's not bad now, but 36, depends what you're used to. Depends if you're from the north or the south. But yeah, so we're just gonna cruise along today, nice and slowly until we find somewhere that we want to camp. Fuel wise, there's Monoro stores usually the one that you want to get fuel. That's about 1/3 of the way up, but it's closed today, which is great. So
because it's Good Friday.
Because it's Good Friday, yeah. It's Easter long weekend. But there is a self-service diesel fuel depot in Bullman in the community, but we're not sure if it's open or not. So if it's not, worst case scenario, if those two are both closed, you've got to hump it all the way up to Gappaweeyak and get fuel there, which is about a 30-kilometre detour. And Gappaweeyak's usually got fuel. It's a big community. But hopefully we won't need to worry about it. And I've got 180 litres in the cruiser, so even towing, it's about 720 Ks all up, so she'll be touch and go, but hopefully we can get some fuel. And that's it. So anyway, we're going to pack up now. We're going to start heading off to the next stop. We're not entirely sure where we're going to stop yet, but you know, if you are taking it slow, this is a great little spot to stop. It's off the road. As you can hear, there's a car going past now, so it's not that loud. And everyone goes really slow as well because of the corrugation, so no one's humping along. And usually at this time, so we're in April, and they've still got a seven axle limit, so you don't see any big trucks, you'll see tow trucks, and that's about it. But anyway, enough gas bagging, East Arnhem Road, let's do it. tell you what, you see so many of these on the track, which is just a car that has been loved, and now this is probably where it's going to stay for the foreseeable future. So the track's a bit rough. There's, as you can see in front of me, so not a lot of water. I think it'll get worse as we get further up north because they've had more rain. But a lot of water has come through here recently. So you just got these bogs, these stinky bogs that you go through. But we're averaging about 40k an hour and we got nowhere to be in a hurry. So onwards we go. All right, super quick lunch stop at Monoro store. So Monoro store is about third of the way, thereabouts. It's closed today because it's Good Friday, but we'll get some fuel at Community up at Bullman, which is probably about 50 k's up the road from here. But if you do, so you can stay here. It's actually a really good spot if you're coming in from Katherine to stay here. If you want to punch it out in 2 days, this is your spot. You can get fuel, you can get hot meals. It's got a really cool place out the back that you can chill. It's got big grassy sites you can keep, you can park at. I'll put, we stayed there last time we came up here, so I'll stick a card to that episode from about a year or so ago. But it is actually a really lovely place. It's a young family that own the place. They got kids come and play. And out the back, there's a spring-fed creek that is just beautiful, full of barra. And yeah, it's great for a swim. There's freshies in there. I don't think they get salties down this. Well, there's always a chance, but just be careful. But no, we went swimming in there last time. It was amazing. But we're not going there this time because it's closed. So we're going to cruise up to Bullman, see, hopefully get some fuel. Otherwise, we'll be in all sorts of trouble. And then keep going. So yeah, 1/4 of the way. Now, I did say in between here and where we camped, there's a beautiful little fresh creek. I can't remember what the name is, but I'll put the name down there. There's another spot you can camp. It's probably an hour past the Jurassic Park. I don't know whether you can get a van in there or not, but it's just by the creek. So if you want to go somewhere where you want to swim, that's probably 4 or so hours in from Katherine or from Mataranka, then keep going past Jurassic Park for another hour and a half or so, and there's another little free camp there that's actually pretty cool, and the water's pretty shallow, so you shouldn't get crocs. Anyway, we will continue onwards. So the other wonderful thing about East Arnhem Land is that you're in the tropics, so the weather is unpredictable. So you never know what the track's going to throw at you. Have a look at this. It's only just started, but there's a good chance it's going to get a little bit slippery. So we're just going to take it nice and easy. Nice and easy. We are not even halfway, and it is shucking it down. Oh, this is going to be fun. We are going to get so filthy dirty. The adventure, eh? So hopefully none of the rivers are flooded out, but we'll have to be careful where we can, because with this kind of rain there's a real risk of flash flooding. So anyway, keep on trucking. Alright, so that was $3 a litre for diesel at Bullman, which wasn't too bad. And I'm pretty much full again now, so I probably used about 70 litres. But man, there is so much water on this road. Oh no. Oh, this is not good. Anyway, the river crossing. It's gonna be a muddy trek for the next few hours because it is bucketing down on the track. Nice and slow. Get a load of this. So we've stopped for a planetary break. I won't tell you show you the other side of the car, but check out the car. Hang on. No, man, I'll tell you what. Bull dust is fun when it's dry, but I'll tell you what, it is terrifying when it's wet. I mean, it's like we've been going slow and everything, but you just don't feel in control of the car. But anyway, we get there. It's got a nice look at this mud. Check it out. Oh, I think we might need a clean when we get back up to go. But we're about 100 k's away from the campsite that we want to get to. There's more rain coming, and yeah, Arnhem Land, it's always such an adventure. I'll tell you what, I never thought I'd do this in the rain, but here we are. So, and we've got our lucky buffhorn. So when we came up here last time, we had a lucky buffhorn, and we saw one coming into Monoro, so we've got a lucky buffalo horn this time around as well. Anyway, continue on. She won't start. Oh, ouch. Slam. Oh, there are buff. Oh, over there, cows. Almost there. Slow going. It's now 6:30. We're probably half an hour away, I reckon. So I'll tell you what, going along here at 20 k's an hour, and it's just mud, thick mud. Oh, those cows went though. And so in the morning, the carnage becomes apparent. Check out I reckon that hands down, this will be the filthiest the van has ever been. And the car. Well, maybe not the car, but that is significantly caked in mud and more mud. So I'm carrying the kids to the car just so we can try and get some vestige of reduced mud. But I think we're probably only about, how much did you think tons from Nhulunbuy?
About 6 hours, I reckon. Like,
about 6 hours. It's only like 200 k's.
About 3 hours if you're driving 70 k's an hour. But
yeah. I'd say we'll still go pretty slow. So yeah.
From Gap is the worst.
From Gap yeah. Yeah, just don't touch the car, guys. Please don't touch the car. Just get into the car and the mud. But anyway, so we're stopped. There's this when you come up towards Nhulunbuy. Goyder Creek Bridge. Now there's a really cool little campsite down there, but it's actually it was so muddy and slippery last night. Last thing I wanted to do is head down there and slide into the river because there's salties in there, which is never good. And so we're just, as you can see, just by the side of the road. There's a better campsite probably about 40 k's further up, but it was late and it was dark. It was getting dark, as I think I saw in the earlier footage. And so we just went, we just got to pull over, and we made sushi for dinner. So after all the stresses of the day, we scoffed sushi because I bought all the ingredients for salmon sushi, and we had to have it. We had to consume it yesterday, otherwise the salmon was probably, raw salmon's not great when you're out in the middle of nowhere. But anyway, so yeah, hopefully we will get to Nhulunbuy today, which means taking it slow in the rain. It's basically 3 days to get there, which is pretty good. But hopefully the track that way is better than the track was that way. And I think if we leave in the morning, we shouldn't cop the rain, because what really slowed us down was when we copped that rain, it was just like there's bull dust, and I'm sure I spoke about before, but there's bull dust all the way along. And when the bull dust gets wet, I mean, you can just imagine like the fine bull dust just turns into just slick. And so I was saying before, I've never actually experienced the van sliding before. And, you know, it would have been great just to stop, but there was, you know, we were on the track and you couldn't even pull over. Like, it's got the sides, the undulating sides. If you went off to the side, the van would just slide out into nowhere and you'd never get out. So anyway, chalk it down to good, interesting life experience and check out the rig. Oh, my Lord. Oh. Love it. Love it. Anyway, let's hit the road. So just quickly, these are the things you got to watch out for. Then they're basically, you get little washouts in there, and I'll show you. I don't know if you'll be able to see it very well. Just here, right? See this? So there's no markings, no nothing, and you don't see it until you're right on top of it. And I'll tell you what, you can see people they've come off here and then they've hit it there. And I tell you what, they are just so bad for your car. So anyway, that's why we go nice and slow. This is what we commonly call a road river. When there is a river going down the road. Oh. Oh. You definitely want to make sure that your car and caravan are in peak mechanical order when you do this track. Mind you, that being said, I think the road is really bad. The road's probably worse than, well, you've ever seen it yet. Yeah. Tons of it, I think, a bit, but that is a lot of water going down the road. Ah, wow.
Dash cam thinks we've had an accident.
Dash cam thinks we've had an accident. Possibly. Oh, black top. Oh, it's not really black top. Brown top.
Solid top.
Solid top. Oh God, it feels good. Oh, it feels good. Let's get. This is it. We get dirt road again up here, don't we?
Yeah, a little bit.
I think it's good. And so back in Nhulunbuy on the black top, and we're cruising to the boat club, and there is a Palmer and a beer in my immediate future. So life is good. Summary, we didn't break anything, but we haven't looked in the caravan yet for the last leg, which was probably the worst. But we're pretty sure we haven't broken anything, so that's good. It took 22 hours of drive time from Katherine. So it's I mean, the condition of the track makes all the difference. So if you are coming up here, jump online and socials or whatever, and just find out what the track's like then and there, because it can change like massively
after one rain.
One rain. So yeah, because obviously last time we did the whole thing in
start of April.
11 hours? 10 hours?
It was 9 hours.
9 hours.
But that wasn't towing.
And that wasn't towing, obviously.
Yeah.
But yeah, so 22 hours, 3 days, 3 stops, and a lot of rain, and
Two stops.
And the caravan is filthy. But yeah, so anyway, that was pretty good, and off to the boat club, which is one of the 2 places you can stay. The other thing you should know that I don't think I said before is if you are bringing your caravan up here, none of the camping areas allow caravans. So you're bringing your caravan up here as a base. There's the sign, welcome to Nhulunbuy. You're bringing the caravan up here as a base, and then you need swags, and you need to be totally self-sufficient outside the van, because all of the Giddies and Cape Arnhem and all of the Rainbow Cliffs and all that jazz, none of them can get caravans into it. So you need to be self-sufficient without your van. So it does put a lot of people off, but man, it's totally worth it.
And I think there's like a 3 or 4 week limit for staying in
there
both
is.
the boat club
and
that's
right.
walkabout. So
there is. But bring your boat up because the fishing's rough. Oh man, it's so long. Cool, it's good to be back here.
Raining again.
It's raining again, of course it's raining again. Anyway, time for a beer, and hopefully, I think they got a wash down at the boat club. We'll find out, I'll let you know, because the van is just so unbelievably filthy, but I think they might have a wash down before you actually bring the van into the boat club. But we will find out in approximately 8 minutes / 8.8 kilometres. So we'll see you there.